Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Mini reviews. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and I'm back again with another mini reviews vid. Now, usually I would do mini reviews of new films, but just this once I'm going to do mini reviews of some of the film franchise that really does not has never come with anybody. Anyway, now some book-based films have come with some of its fans and found the fan bases, maybe stuff like old books like The Lord of the Rings or even The Hobbit, or just films, well, based on more recent books like Harry Potter or Twilight, or some that might have got a mixed, response like Divergent or The Maze Runner. But there's this one book based franchise that really just hasn't caught to anybody, and that would be the After series. Yes, it's been almost 5 years since the first film came out, and this is going to be the first installment of a special two-part mini reviews set where I'll be reviewing all 5 films. This video will contain my reviews of the first 3 films. So let's get this over with, okay? And P.S. I'm not going to be able to defend these films. Just see for yourself, okay? Here we go. First up is the one that started it all. After, originally released by Aviron Film Pictures, in 2019, it was released in April of 2019. Directed by Gene Gage, who co-wrote the screenplay with Susan McMartin, Tamara Chestnut, and Tom Brereton. This is based on the 2014 novel of the same name by Anna Todd. It follows a young woman who begins to romance a mysterious student during her first month of college. It features Selma Blair, Anna Sarkis, Shane Paul McGee, Piamia, Kajia Red Thunder, if I mispronounced that, I apologize, Dylan Arnold, Samuel Larson, Jennifer Beals, and Peter Gallagher. Now, plus its main stars are Hero Finds, Tiffin, and Josephine Langford. Excuse me, I got ahead with the supporting cast. My bad. Anyway, it's about a girl named Tessa Young who begins her first year of college by moving into her dorm room with the help of her mother and her boyfriend. During the process, she meets her new roommate, Steph, and her girlfriend, Tristan. The day after, Tessa shares a brief encounter with Steph's friend, Harlan Scott. And the following day, Steph persuades Tessa to attend a party where she meets Steph's other friends and meets Harlan for the second time. And they play Truth or Dare, which reveals Tessa's virginity. She is dared to kiss Harlan but refuses. But soon, after later on, Harlan attempts to kiss Tessa, but she rejects his advances and leaves. And then Tessa meets with Landon, a classmate she met on her first day of classes, who reveals to her that he and Harlan are soon to become stepbrothers, with Mary engaged to Harlan's father. Well, and he approaches Tessa and insists they start over, inviting her to a nearby lake. Well, soon they start to fall for each other in a way. Now, that's all the story I'm going to tell you. I'm not telling you anymore. Anyway, despite this film got dissed and what have you, the film sits at a mere 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying, while it's tepid and tired, the film's fun flourishes are let down by its generic story. Yeah, I will say the story's okay and what have you. It's just not that great, though. And while despite getting dissed and what have you, the film was still a decent success, making $69 million worldwide against its $14 million budget. Anyway, well, critics found the screenplay at fault and what have you. So anyway, while despite the film got dissed, it however won the Teen Choice Award for Choice Drama Movie, and then followed up with the People's Choice Award in the Drama Movie of 2019. Well, that was understandable as well. Justin Burnett did the score, which was fine, what have you. But there were some songs I was not too thrilled with. It was even a cover of Avril Lavigne's breakthrough hit, "Complicated." I wasn't too thrilled with who sung that, though, unfortunately. The cast is okay and what have you. Now, of course, the critics were negative on the screenplay and its narrative glamorizing abusive relationships. The cast was all right and what have you. Josephine Langford as Tessa was fine. Hero Fiennes Tiffin was Hardin. He was fine. Selma Blair played Tessa's mother Carol. Anana Sarkis plays the character of Molly. Shane Paul McGee plays Landon. Pia Mia plays Tristan. Dylan Arnold plays Noah, and Kajia Red Thunder played Steph, and so on. Peter Gallagher played the character Chancellor Ken Scott. But anyway, um, after is okay and what have you, but despite this film got the PG-13 rating by the MPAA, well, this was still just a wee bit before they just shortened it to MPA later on that year. I'm gonna say after. Well, not really that great of a film. I'd say if you want to see it, fine, but I'd say just avoid it. Now, what am I going to say about the other films? Let's continue, shall we? Next is its sequel, released the following year after We Collided. Now, the film was originally released by Open Road Films. It was released in September of 2020 in Europe, and then, well, a month and a half later in the US in October. It did okay, but still got dissed and what have you for its plot, plus its and glamorized portrayal of its toxic relationships, plus the characters and acting. But did okay and what have you, 48 million against its $14 million budget. But let's get on to it. Well, apparently, Hardin meets a homeless man whom he rebuffs after he tries to ask him a question. But apparent, but Tessa shares an awkward encounter with a coworker of hers. Well, named with a guy named Trevor. Now, impressed with her work, the owner of the company Tessa's working for, Christian Vance, takes Tessa and Trevor and his secretary and girlfriend Kimberly to a Seattle area work event, and at a nightclub, Tessa and Trevor network with an impressive businessman considering an investment in Vance. And Tessa drunk dials Hardin, compelling him to track her down. And he arrives at her hotel room to find a half dressed Trevor, whose clothes were drying after Tessa accidentally spilled wine on him. And Hardin kicks Trevor out of the room and she fights with him before they have sex. Yeah. This, unlike the first film, the MPA gave this an R rating. I say same with the next one. Well, actually, I know the same with the next one. Well, apparently Hardin and Tessa fight again before she and Trevor leave with Vance, who informs his interns that he has secured financing from the businessman. And Tessa and Hardin each come to regret ending their relationship, which that what happens in the first movie. But I won't tell. But I didn't want to tell you where though. I just didn't want to spoil that. But soon it just turns into another kind of mess up and what have you. The film got had a mere 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. And, well, yeah, it just wasn't great and what have you. It also premiered on video on demand. But again, it did alright and what have you. Well, anyway. Now, it only got released in selected regions and, well, on Netflix later on, 2 months later after its release. But anyway, yeah, the story's kind of well, its plot's kind of kind of messy and what have you. Characters are okay and what have you, but The portrayal of the relationships is too messy and what have you. We have the new additions of Dylan Sprouse, half of the brotherly duo of Cole and Dylan. You may know a Big Daddy fame and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody fame. We also have Louise Lombard in here and Candace King and Charlie Weber. A few people from the first film are back, including Selma Blair and Shane Paul McGee, Kajia Red Dunner, Pia Mia, and Anna Sarkis. Oh yeah, and Dylan Arnold. Yeah. And also there's um a brief cameo by the writer of the after series, Anna Todd, as a club patron. Anyway, and the film was directed by Roger Cumbo from a screenplay by Anna Todd herself, along with Mario Zelaya. After We Collided, alright sequel, but it's it's alright, but not good though. Avoid it at all costs. Next film. And finally, here's the third film, After We Fell. Now, it was released by Voltage Pictures, who, of course, produced the first two films, but this was their first to be distributed by them. And this film was directed by Castile Landon from a screenplay by Sharon Sobel. Anyway, now Josephine Langford and Hero Finds Stephen return as Tess and Hardin. It also has some other people return, plus others and what have you, including we have Louise Lombard, Rob Estes, Ariel Kebbel, Carter Jenkins, and Mira Savino in supporting roles. Now, the plot follows Tessa's preparations for a job in Seattle, the arrival of Tessa's father, and revelations about Hardin's family, all of which threaten the couple's relationship. This film was released in September 2021. It came out in Europe early in that month, and at the end of that month in the US. And this got even worse reviews than the first two films. Now it had 8%, well, somewhere between 0 to 8%. And well, I'm not going to give any of the story away, so because I've used up too much time on the second film. Anyway, a lot of critics weren't thrilled with this. The AV Club said it's a filler episode of the franchise, saying the problem is that most of the film is too boring to even lend itself to mockery. The Guardian criticized the anti as daytime soap standard. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's just kind of a little boring. Although I should point out, like after we collided, a couple of one hot scene and one hot scene from this one are the only two things that really could save this. So seriously, this could have just used more spin, polish, and what have you. But they just couldn't do it. Anyway, Josephine Langford was fine. So was Hero Fine Stephen. Um, Everyone else was okay too. Um, yeah, and let's see. I'm trying. Give me a second, everyone. Now they had Justin Burnett do the score for the second film, as well as just like the first one. But this film had George Callis doing the music and what have you. So anyway, yeah, it was okay. The criticism was for the acting and screenplay. Yeah, the acting just wasn't good and what have you. The screenplay, okay and what have you. But I'm really not saying much for it. And also that ends with To Be Continued. And this was the last after film I watched. I have not watched the other two films, but I will, and I will review those in review form in the second part of this. So again, I'm not really going to defend any of these films. I'd say you'd be better off watching something else, something better, Will or romantic for book-based films. You'd be better off with Twilight. You'd be better off with everything, Or heck, if you want sexual stuff, you could be sticking with the wonderful 50 Shades of Grey trilogy, even. Oh, dear, I'm sorry. I think I might have gotten a little carried away with that. My bad. But I'm serious, though. But since I'm giving the first time watches to the next two actor films, will I think this will rejuvenate my liking for that? For those two? I cannot answer. Stay tuned for them. So that's going to do it for this main reviews ranking. I'd like to know what your thoughts on the first three after films. I know a lot of people don't like it, these films. Like I said, they're okay to me. So, enough said about them. Just leave a comment if you wish. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And stay tuned for my Saturday morning TV log. Actually, my 200th Saturday morning TV log of Captain K-Man and the Teen Angels coming up tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out my reviews for these other films. And these are from things I was just talking about. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the film that started it all for this franchise, Twilight. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Everything, Everything. And the bottom left-hand corner is my review of 50 Shades of Grey. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.